What's up, guys and gals? It's your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys the latest chapter review for Jujutsu Kaisen, chapter 209, entitled Offering to the Unknown. Ooh. Alright, right out of the gate. Best part of this goddamn chapter. Many people, I have watched no less than 3 different reaction/reviewers, and no one has fundamentally started and ended and just praised the greatness that is the comedian in this chapter. The comedian who states that the reason the entire U.S. military has invaded Japan is because his popularity drives people wild. That, and he literally does the foot dance. And what does he do by doing this? Well, I'll tell you. He deflects bullets with his feet while dancing. Comedian has just risen from top 15 to top 5. I don't know who we're kicking out of the top 5, but somebody got to fucking go. The comedian made this chapter for me, ladies and gentlemen. The comedian is amazing. The comedian not only did he believe the entire U.S. military force came there because his popularity is skyrocketing so high, but also the man, the myth, the legend danced a goofy ass dance. Boom, 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 doo, 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 while kicking away an AK-47, an M16. I don't know what gun. I'm not a gun guy because I'm not American. But I will tell you it was some form of automatic weapon. And what it did was absolutely nothing to the comedian's boots. The comedian is top 5 in the verse. Confirmed. Let's go. That's all that there is for the chapter. All right. No. There is more to the chapter, but that was my favorite part. Honestly, this chapter, because we go back in time a little bit before the Yuki versus, before the black hole, before the Yuki, Tengen, Chozo, Kenjaku stuff, all that fun jazz. And we go back to a scene we've already seen before, sort of idea, the assistant to Kenjaku all talking about like, oh, this is perfect for Sukuna, blah, 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 and here's where everything's starting to happen, and now the U.S. Army has invaded, right? So the U.S. Army has invaded, and we see some characters that we've already seen in the colonies. Apparently, Helicopter Hair is an actual monster, a true monster. If the comedian didn't tickle your funny bone, then the fact that Helicopter Man is a true monster that took down an entire squad of the U.S. military, and I don't know what's going to make you about anything anymore, because Helicopter Man is now declared a monster by the U.S. military. That is incredible. The humor in this chapter is just boop, 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 boop. Can you see my hand anymore? No, you can't, because the humor has gone to the heavens. It's actually a fun chapter for that regard. It is a fun chapter. Other than that, honestly, not a whole lot else to talk about. I have no theories. I have no idea what's going on. In all honesty, the Culling game, we're doing that whole jump back and forth in time. Now we're going to jump back ahead. Now we're going to jump to recent. Now we're going to do this. So realistically, this chapter is just a bit of a transition. There's also a very horrific element. There's a very, okay, I'm watching, on multiple screens. I'm watching The Human Centipede, The Grudge, Woman in Black, all this fucking shit, The Nun. I'm watching everything all in a dark dirt basement by myself at midnight on Halloween or some shit with I don't know what that thing was. I can't show panels, obviously, but you all know what I'm talking about. Apparently, Kenjaku decided to release a shit ton of cursed spirits. I don't know if we knew that before, but apparently decided to release a bunch of cursed spirits into the colonies. It ups the curse. Of course, Kenjaku's trying to play 4D chess when Alright, for whatever reason. But he's playing 4D chess up in this bitch. And he released a bunch of cursed, just to make the colonies better. He's like, oh, Tokyo and Sundai, they're fine. And he called Yuta useless. But Sundai and Colony are fine for cursed energy. Sundai and Tokyo are fine for cursed energy levels. But there's other colonies that are sort of meh about everything. And Reggie is apparently right, because I'm going to take my eyeball and my boogers and all that shit and create bombs out of there. He's still evading capture. Higuruma is apparently still evading capture, though the other girl that was with Reggie, she gets tranked and stuff like that by the U.S. military. But what am I talking about for the horror element? We see this goddamn creature, this aberration, this thing that I have no idea how to exactly describe, but as I said, let's put on 5 horror movies that are just a little uncomfortable for the majority of sane individuals. And yeah, that's basically what we're seeing right now. We're seeing something that is not okay. Not quite right. You know what I mean? The left is right because the left is always wrong and the right is right and the left is wrong or whatever. However that rhyme's supposed to go. It's a tongue twister. It's confusing. But, yeah. Scary ass shit. Some cursed spirit that Kenjaku unleashed is absolutely horrifying in this chapter. Absolutely dreadfully horrifying. It's actually a very well drawn panel adding to the horror element. There are only a handful of manga. I probably count them on one hand, and some I don't even remember the name of because I was like, nah, this shit's too fucking freaky for me. And that just means they did a good job. But I've read a few horror mangas. This page is right up there with a lot of some of the better horror mangas out there that I've ever read. I don't read a whole lot of horror manga, but the ones I've read, I've had to put down and be like, I'm a little freaked out. I'm in a big house by myself. It's 11 o'clock at night. I want to go. I'm gonna go watch Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn on something. You know what I mean? Like just so I can go to bed without insomnia. So, in that regard, this was a very well drawn panel. You guys know what I'm talking about. The cursed spirit released by Kenjaku. It says nighttime is their time to feed. It's their time to shine, and of course, upping the colonies and their cursed energy levels so that he can do whatever his master plan is. Because what's her name? The attendant tries to guess the plan, and he said, I'll give that 60 points. So 60 points or 60% right. She's got the right idea, but is still falling short. She's still in the D class when it comes to the mastermind that is Kenjaku, apparently. So either way, nothing else really happens, to be honest with you. Kenjaku says, like, you don't really know my plan. You don't really have the full extent. I guess we know the plan with the whole creating the super centipede cursed spirit of all to end all be all, you know, the world eater or something like that. Alduin was called, and he was like, hey, that's my title. But either way, sort of a all over the place chapter. The military's capturing people. Cursed spirits have been unleashed. It's nighttime. Yuji, Megami, and the gang are on the run. They don't need to deal with the whole the angel won't help the fallen one because the fallen one is Yuji, blah, blah, blah. And the comedian is just a fucking amazing. So, yeah, that's pretty much the chapter. I think I covered everything. In all honesty, as I said, there isn't really a whole lot that held me to the chapter. I know we have to go through these transitional chapters. We're turning back the clock, and now we're continuing off where we left off with Yuji and the gang, which is good. We're back to the main cast and stuff, and I like Yuji, I like Megumi, I like these characters. So it'll be interesting to see how they're going to fight against the U.S. Army. You know, we had enough setup for it, but yeah. So now is Fushiguro actually going to attack and kill regular U.S. soldiers? I mean, it is kill or be killed right now, even if they may or may not be using tranks, as we saw. They seem to be more trank guns rather than actual bullets, but apparently they have killed some because one of the people that fought against Helicopter Man, the monster, the true monster of the Culling Games himself, stated that they took out a lot of their guys, and she's carrying his head. Sort of like, oh, we were told if the brain's intact, it's fine. So they are allowed to use lethal force. So, there is trank guns, but there is also apparently not. And the comedian was actually just, you know, with bullets all over the place. So, kicking away bullets. So, Yeah, quite interesting. That the only negative thing I can say about this chapter, in all honesty, because honestly, we need these type of chapters. We need the plot relevant chapters to keep the game. Here's our reminder. Here's what's currently happening. Let's start moving the plot again. The only problem I had with the chapter was the whole bullshit. I don't know if we knew this before. Maybe we did. Maybe we didn't. But I think this is a new scene where they start off with the whole, "Hi, I'm Kogain. Hi, I'm Kogain. Hi, I'm Kogain." And because they don't listen to the rules, they don't get the, "You're transferred anywhere, you're teleported." And Kenjaku admits, it's not a rule of the culling game, so you're not randomly transported. If you don't listen to the rules. That makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever. I'm not gonna lie. That's dumb. That's for plot convenience. That's stupid. Because they even acknowledge it in the universe. The assistant there, she just goes, "Isn't that more like a bug? That sounds like a glitch or a bug. That makes no sense. That's a loophole through some bullshit." Like, the transport thing, since it's not a rule, if you don't listen to the rules, it doesn't affect you. But if you listen to the rules and enter the domain, now it does affect. How is that make any sense? Like, no. So that is my one gripe with the chapter. It's a minor gripe. I don't really care. But I do find that kind of lame, kind of stupid. Other than that, the chapter was pretty good. The comedian actually made me laugh. Like, he is legit. His popularity stocks are rising. This man, and I'm not joking, this man is a top contender. Remember what was said about his ability. He can rival Gojo if he's funny. Like, that is... I mean, that's more gambling than Hakari even is willing to bet, but still, this implies that this man can be OP as long as he's funny. I mean, we've seen what happens with certain abilities like that in a certain other manga. Clorox, yeah, that Clorox back there. I believe in the last arc there was a similar idea. Yeah. Anyways, that's the review, guys. That's the end of the chapter, end of the review. Chapter 209, Offering to the Unknown. What did you guys think? I thought the chapter was good. Had that very horrific couple of panels there with the cursed spirit being unleashed, and now it's nighttime, and then we're continuing on with the main story now. As I said, I really did enjoy the comedian aspects. I really, honestly, that was my favorite part. So, and now we're going forward. We're moving forward with the plot with Chapter 210. So, what did you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Hope you guys like the new layout over here. It's a little different than what I had before, but it's a new year, new layout, new channel. Well, not a new channel, just revamping the old one, so to speak. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe, as I said. Drink responsibly, as always. And we'll see you beautiful people back here once again for Chapter 210 of JJK. Looking forward to it. Know you guys are too. Sayonara.